Good morning, friends. Welcome to Akulmach business section. And today we are basically delving in a different subject. We are actually talking about the work-life balance. Although we talk usually about business, but then today we have a very interesting person joining us from India. And his name is Basant Omar. We will introduce you in a bit. But Basant has been a very senior professional, especially in the telecom industry, almost more than 2 decades of experience, and he's joining us. He is going to tell us about work life balance, which is very important, especially in 2024. So stick around, friends, because a very interesting discussion coming up right now. Without further ado, let me present Basant Tomar. Hello, Basant. How are you doing?
Hi, CK. I'm doing very well. Thank you for this.
Great. So it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Basant. And today we are not discussing business with you, but we are, discussing the personal aspects of, our professional career, our professional journey. So, and as you know, today's discussion is about, balance, work-life balance, which is very, very important. So let me ask you, many people associate work-life balance with managing schedules. Can you share some strategies from your experience and probably go deeper and address the emotional and mental aspects of achieving this balance? What do you think? I mean, do we really need a work-life balance, or we can be just easy go-lucky guy person and continue our work? What do you think, Basan?
Okay. Let me tell people, from where I'm coming from, a typical sort of middle class family where father was defense, and you know how defense people are. Mother was a housewife, and I have seen father working uh, long hours away also from home. So we come from a perspective that generally people learn from there, the associated that it is okay that, parents are away or father is away working hard and he doesn't know much or you don't interact much, or whenever you do, you try and, put everything together in that. So there is one that another aspect, there's one civil life where people, father goes for work, mother goes for work, they come back, people observe, kids observe all that from the beginning. Now this is where they start making up, that how difficult, or what do we need to manage. I per se have never thought of managing or balancing work or life. Luckily, the work that I do, I love that. Now this is where things will change for a lot of people. People are, sorry to say, they're doing things which they don't like. They are, in a sense, they don't like their job, but then they have to do it. So it's important to figure out, initially, that what exactly do you want to do. Once you find something, then there is no balancing needed. You can really work both in tandem and do them so that they are balanced in that sense. Now, for example, I have worked with various corporates, enterprises, small, large. A lot of companies have forced us to work, let's say, in a sense, long hours. There's a pressure, there are projects. You need to have scheduling there. You schedule the work there so that it doesn't impact the family aspect, because that's main life. This is where people who stand by you, who wait for you, who look forward to you. So either we are neglecting it because we can't justify that work, or we are not happy within ourselves, so we are diverting and pushing our mind towards something which at least will keep us busy so that we don't really show up in a bad light. You getting my point where I'm going with all this? So I don't get into this work life balance sort of thing which people keep talking about. And there's a notion, there's a hype, if you ask me. I have gone through every stages today where I'm sitting. I do what I want. I work at whatever times I want to. I work for 18 hours some days. When I know there's a fire, there's a pressure, or if I have to increase my sales revenues, I do my own business. I have companies in 3 different countries, and we are in telecom and unified communication service business. That is pretty demanding because customers are always looking for something, and there's always some or the other fire to put up. But I include my family, I make them understand, and they see how important it is. They will not disturb me then, but I give them equal time when I have to. And as I said, I am free today, that I am in a position, but then if I could reach there, I think so could everybody, right?
Yeah, so I think what you are saying makes a lot of sense, and I think it's very good that you have been able to carve out your own time management. I mean, that is what I will understand. And coming from the humble background, and you have been there, done that, you have established yourself. However, most of the professionals are actually having a lot of issues with the technology, because technology, while it makes your life easy, also create extra time, and then people get tempted to utilize that time to generate more revenue, more moolah for themselves. So that brings me to another question, and that is the work demand expectations, and that can differ for different professionals. For example, you are in telecom, but then for there are other professionals in the industry who will have their own responsibilities, own pressures, personal professional pressures. So what advice can you offer to people in various fields about long working hours, intense workload, and what is the impact of that in especially in the area of healthcare and finance, because usually people work for very long hours in these two segments. Basant, what is your opinion?
Okay. I think this is where, if you try and understand, there's a concept which is called as triage in the hospitals, or in this health industry, where you see, there are three, four layers or three, four situations where that this is critical, so you need to attend to that first without stressing yourself out. And then there are other aspects which are a lower level, lower risk people, where you can attend them later. People get stressed out because they want to do everything, without thinking that which one is more important, critical to do right now, which will have more impact. Now, when we talk about medical or these fields, there, if a person is literally on a deathbed, now he is the most important thing to handle rather than few more, patients who could be okay, right? So this is where comes for the pressure or the work life or a long intense hours also. Why are they long? Because they're not well defined, structured, that what is the implication of this? Should I do this first, or will this need more time from me, or more analysis, or more management? So people need to start looking at from there, that yes, this is a critical, this needs time, but if it is urgent, I need to attend to it. So this is more like eating your frog first, the first thing in the morning, the most difficult task which you may not like, but you will have to do that because that will put you at ease, because that is constantly in the back of your head, which will stay. Even if you avoid it, it's there at the back of the head. And once you're doing something which is not so important, that will keep tingling you and keep putting you under pressure. So important thing is to relieve you of the major pressure points. Basically, this is how everything works in the system, even in nature. uh, Release those one by one, understand which will have more impact. You can leave a lot of things for later or for tomorrow. So I hope it is all about working out, and understanding which one. Just because you want to be busy or you want to stay there for longer hours is not going to help. I am not really saying that people should not be doing that, or it is not good to do that. But then if you want to live a bit less stressful life and still do a better job of it, long hours is absolutely fine. There you need your health, mental, physical, both to be proper. So work life balance requires your physicality and mentality to be at its peak. The better health and a mentality of a person is, he can be a better CEO, he can manage things, juggle them around, right? So people don't really look at that, and a relationship also matters with the family. Again, it will come back to the whole circle, that you have a family, you have a physical and mental body. You got to take care of the relationship between all of them. If they are in tune, then you can work efficiently and you will not feel the pressure, whether it's a long hour or it's a short, intense thing which is bothering you.
Yeah, Basant, I think I fully agree with you. What you're saying makes a lot of sense, but I think this is easier said than done, simply because People require a lot of orientation. They need clarity of thought. Like you mentioned, that you have to put your responsibility on the professional front in a box, and then your personal front also in a box, and then balance them. That requires little bit of maturity and clarity. And now for you, because you are coming from the defense background, that is the most intense job profile that anybody can expect. And therefore I think for you it's easy because you have learned it at home from your father, who was balancing the same thing in spite of being in defense. So I think I acknowledge that completely, Basant. Let's move on to the next one, which is the technology, which is a productivity booster. And
Hmm.
the personal line between work and personal life is now blurring. People tend to sit in their bedrooms and do their work, and then they finish their work and then go to sleep. Then they get up, and again first thing to do is switch on their laptops and then see, okay, what is pending for me today, what is assigned to me today. So this is what is happening in such a situation. What is your advice to people, how they should balance their work life? I personally feel that it is not a good setting to have your workplace in your bedroom or in your drawing room. But unfortunately, that is the reality for at least 50 to 60% workforce today. So, Basant, what do you think?
Okay, I'll come back to something. I'll tell you what I learned. Now, on the phones or on the laptops, one thing is you need to shut down every information which people or the Google or everything is trying to push to you. First thing. So, please understand, my phones, my laptops will not show me anything unless I want to search for something, right? So, I have removed those distractions. I don't know if you're doing it or not. I am doing it, and I'm forcing or telling my people around me also to simply switch off. I'll come to that work thing later. Before that, the habit of people, to be on the phone. Please understand, all the time. There are studies where people do thousands of times. They're gonna keep looking, keep waiting for some like, dislike, clickings, or some ting tings, and all that, which puts you under pressure all the time, and you are not really comfortable. So if you ask me, when you reach home, shut down everything from that perspective. Only important things on the phones. There are ways where you can allow notification of one or two things which which are critical. So if you ask me, for me, it's my payments, my customers, the CRMs, which are important. But then there's also time for that, and I have started doing things which I can effectively manage and which has more impact because I'm in a position. So somebody who needs to have it regularly can do that, right? So you need to stop there first. Don't use your phone and your head and start diverting, because what you're doing essentially is diverting yourself all the time. Every second you want to engage, because ultimately you're not really happy with the place within yourself. That's why you look for one thing. Within 2 seconds, 5 seconds, you will look for something else. You want some other news. If you think within yourself, is it making or adding any value to you? Looking at any information which has no relevance sitting today, there's a time to read. We used to have times where you read newspaper and you go home and you forget. Now everything is available everywhere. So everyone wants to just gobble up everything and put it in their heads. No, it's not going to work. You need to shut down. There are ways. Google and every application has allowed you to switch off, and when you want, you can switch them out. There's nothing, nobody is coming to you and showing you things. Otherwise, this used to happen with me. Tons of things used to come while I'm working, emailing, and there are some notifications, this, that, and I used to like get wavered off. Then I realized, if I need to improve my stress life, productivity, I need to shut them off. So there's nothing. My phone is blank. My kids, my family sees, and they see there's nothing here. There is nothing. I told them why, and they understood. Probably they're learning. I hope they will learn. Then the circle will increase. I'll tell more people. I'm trying to do that at my end. Now, the thing that you're saying, bringing work at home and doing that in the bedroom, this is something between the family. The man has to understand, or the woman, that what exactly do we want from each other, or from the time that we are spending together. Is now, when you say people get up in the morning or late night and they switch off and they go to sleep, get up in the morning, start looking in their laptops and phones. I'm sorry. uh, you need to plan your day before advance. First thing first. and you need to know that tomorrow I will start doing this. Getting in the morning, having a look at the email is not going to make any impact on anything or start doing anything. You're putting yourself stress as soon as you're getting up. Put the phone away, please. This is not good. It is also not easier said than done, but you have to start somewhere. So my kids, my family, their phones are put out of the room. Kids. So you got to inculcate from there that do not touch the phone between 10 to morning 8, 9 till you are okay and you're within yourself. Try and do some breathing, some exercise, and then you can get back to those things. Again, you see, this is a culture that you'll have to inculcate. Now, people are not doing it. They're not understanding. Again, as I said, life is hard. So they want to be busy all the time. So then they don't really have to think or focus on what is it that is bothering them. You're tending to move those points which are heavy on the head, but then you got to tackle those on. So leave everything, put them in the side, plan a day advance. I keep saying everywhere in the sales team or all my teams, I keep saying same thing. Plan everything in advance a day before. Let me know what is important for tomorrow and when and how it needs to be done. Once you know that those things are set, same as for the home, for the cooking, for example. If you decide for a whole week that this family needs this cooking to be done, the lady won't be stressed out. You will have all everything planned out. So whole week you can tell the cook he comes and you're making things on auto. You're not using your brain or your energies in the head, which really stresses you out. That brain consumes 30% of your vitamins, energies, and minerals. So you got to calm that down, put things on auto, and do things which are important, which are necessary, where you need the brain to be more focused.
Yes, Basant, I think you're giving us a very, very vital nugget of intellect, and it's really appreciated. What you're saying is that you need to plan. So start with planning your day, your week, your month, your year, and
Yeah, yeah.
then stick to the plan. Now we
You
have
have to. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, we have one live audience,
Mm-hmm.
Hina Mehra. She is joining us from YouTube. So Hina, welcome. And today we are discussing about the work-life balance, which is very critical, especially for everybody today. How do you spend your day and night and work hours and free up your mind, enjoy yourself? If you have any questions, feel free to send it across, and we will have Basant Tomar, who is a very senior, seasoned professional from our industry, address your query. All right, let's move ahead. Basant, I have just one last question. Although
Sure,
uh,
sure, sure.
you have kind of answered that already. Uh, like you said, you also said that it is easier said than done. How to build the sustainable habits? How do you build the sustainable habit of managing this plan? You have any trick which you want to share with our audience today?
Okay. Now everything starts with morning. Whatever you do, uh, you do everything nicely. Please understand. You have to train your brain. The most important thing is to train your brain. So when you get up, again, there's a very fantastic speech by one of the major. I forgot the name. There's a U.S. general who said that start making your bed if you want to improve your life. The first thing that you should be doing, and do that regularly every day without fail. Please understand, every day everything that you do is preparing your mind in one way or the other. So if for example, if you see something lying down at home and you don't pick it up, what you're telling yourself, you're telling your brain that it is okay to have a thing which shouldn't be there where it is, and it is actually obstructive, but then it is okay. So brain is like in that sense it is fine. Even if I'm not doing something right, it is fine. So that gets into bigger things also. Please understand, these are very small things, but if you start doing things like putting your utensils in the proper places, not leaving things down, not keeping things dirty, you will have to put those habits in you from the beginning. And once you have those, you can do larger things continuously with no problem. I'm telling you, it has to begin with very, very small things, putting your slippers aside, putting your phone aside, putting things properly, helping people out, whatever, small, small gestures every day in and out. You have to start with yourself, for yourself first thing. Forget about doing it for others. keeping your table clean, keeping things where they are, laptops nicely. Every day, I'm telling you, your shoes polished, you're dressed well, you're well dressed, keeping yourself clean, not like a lethargic kind of thing, to get the chalta hai attitude. It is this which is hurting you in your professional life, because what you become initially, what you're planning or preparing yourself, you're going to do that, because that becomes your habit. Then it eventually it becomes your character. That people say, Ki, "This is who I am." No, I'm sorry. You. It's not that this. You've been doing that forever, not because of some situation or something. You're doing it to yourself.
I think you had given us lot of information, and it will help us as well as our audience. And obviously, we spoke about for 20 minutes. This is a vast subject. Probably we'll
Oh,
visit again in future and discuss more in depth on this subject, work-life balance, and we'll keep
sure.
revisiting this space. So, Basant, thank you so much for joining us live. You found time to join us today in the VRs on a Saturday, on a weekend. So, appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CK. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
All right. So we had a fantastic conversation from Basant. He spoke about so many aspects of how we can improve our life, how we can actually have work-life balance. We will keep revisiting this subject. We will also invite Basant in our future episodes to talk about sales, business, opportunities. So stick around, friends, and I will catch you in the next one. Be happy, be safe, keep rocking. Bye for now.